Hello, I'm Del Pike. I'm from Moving Image Production at the Hugh Baird L20. I'm just going to wait, if that's okay, for about 30 seconds. Just check the watch before we begin, just in case there's any latecomers. Just to let you know, I'm just going to be going through the course, really, telling you what the course is about, how you can apply, what qualifications you need, that kind of thing. If you do need to ask any questions at all, please do, and I'll try, in the short time we've got, I'll try and answer as many as I can. But just just give me 1 minute and we'll begin. Okay, I see quite a few people logging on, which is good. Okay, might be an idea, if you have got any questions, maybe wait until the end, and I'll be able to go through them properly. Okay, let's see where we are. Okay, it's 1 o'clock. Welcome. Hi. Like I say, I'm Del Pike, the old name there, creeping it. I'm Del Pike and I run the Moving Image Production course at the Hugh Baird's L20 University Centre. Been doing it for 2.5 years now, and so far our students really enjoy it. They get a great deal out of it. They find the centre to be a really nice place to work. It's quite quiet. You know, plenty of opportunities to be able to go away, find a quiet corner, study, and lots and lots of one-to-one time with tutors as well, which is one of the things that students really do like, which you wouldn't get in larger centres, to be honest. Not having to make an appointment a week in advance or whatever, you can just come and chat to us, which is great. So, what do we offer? I'm sure you need to know that. Well, we offer a few levels to come in on. We offer a year zero option. That's for students who perhaps haven't got traditional qualifications, maybe a level 2, and some experience maybe in moving image production, video production, film studies, that kind of thing. And basically you do a number of things on year zero. There's a number of options. So you do working in the arts department, maybe doing some stuff with photography or whatever. And at the end of it, you decide which option you want to take, having had a taster of each area of creative arts. And you decide at the end, and if you want to carry on, then obviously you can do that in the following year. We offer a foundation degree, which is a 2-year course. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a minute. And also we offer a BA top-up, which usually our 2nd year foundation students carry on to. So far, pretty much everyone who's done the 2-year foundation course likes to carry on to the BA honours, because it turns it into a proper degree. It turns it into a full-blown BA honours degree. And we teach, even though we teach the Hugh Baird, our courses are provided by UCLan, which is the University of Central Lancashire in Preston. So when you graduate at Preston, which is great. You go to the full ceremony, and you know, with all the students from Preston, the whole cap and gown thing, which is great. You know, it's the icing on the cake at the end of the course. And we also have our own graduation ceremony too at Bootle Town Hall, so you can actually celebrate where you learned. You know. So that's what we do. We do take students on who've done a foundation degree elsewhere, maybe have reached that level 4, level 5, and they want to just do the BA top-up. Also, if you wanted to apply for that, if you were in that position, that would be absolutely fine. Okay. So what is it? What do we do? I always say the course is like 50-50. It's 50% practical, 50% academic, if you like. So we're doing things like video production, mainly, as the title would suggest. We do things like making promotional films for outside clients, so it gives you a taste of what it's like in the real world. So one of the units, one of the modules in the 1st year is finding a client independently. Go out there, find a client, make a film for them to promote their company. And in the past we've had quite a few people who have used, you know, the work that the students have done. So that's great. That's a really good way of meeting people outside. We also do things like documentaries, making documentaries, doing interviews, learning interview techniques, A little bit more of that later. We've got something quite exciting this year coming up in terms of TV presenting, so hang on for that. Yeah, the documentary is a really good opportunity to use both the studio and also location work. So we've got a little studio. It's it's quite small, it's quite compact, and it's at the back of the classroom, so it's right there on site. And we've got lighting, we've got sound equipment, we've got the cameras, so you can do studio work. But I do really encourage my students to get out there and do some location work as well. We do sort of narrative fiction as well, which I know a lot of people really are interested in now, which is making short films with a plot, story, fictional narrative. Some of them are great. The quality of that work is outstanding. And really, it's always exciting for me as a teacher and as course leader to see that kind of work coming through and seeing the influences that people have taken from film and TV, and creating their own vision, which I think is kind of why we do the job. Really, I think it's great to see that creativity. We also do, like I say, 50% academic. Academic's a loose term, really, but talking about film studies, watching films, watching TV, and we do sort of straddle both film and TV. Looking at why those films or why those TV shows were made, what the director or the producer's intentions were, looking at sort of historical contexts around the time that those texts were produced. And at the end of the day, getting a full understanding so that when you're actually making your films, you understand where, a little bit about film history and a little bit about film practice as well. So you're not just, going in there in the dark, as it were. The staff that we employ, there's 3 of us. It's only, let's say it's quite small, we've got 3 year groups running, and the class sizes are quite small too, which I know a lot of students like. The most we've had is like 15. And at the moment, our third year group, there's 6, so they're not huge groups. And obviously, we'd love them to be bigger. And if you guys are interested, you can make that happen. But they're great. It's a nice atmosphere. It's not overwhelming. You're not sat in a huge lecture theatre with 100 other students, feeling a little bit lost. You're in quite an intimate environment where you can chat to each other, chat to the staff. It's great. But the staff we employ, well, there's myself, like I say, I'm Del, hello, and I still work in the industry, as it were, more in print actually. I write articles for magazines, and I write articles for websites, usually things like film reviews, gig reviews, interviewing, musicians and actors, that kind of thing. But my history is in TV research. I worked for a while for a TV company in Manchester as a researcher and a production assistant. And I used to work for Nickelodeon for a while as well as a film reviewer and TV reviewer. So that's my background really. We've got Soraya Lemfstaff. I'll try and say her name right. And she does one of the modules, which is audio. Which is putting audio to images, creating your own soundtracks, and not just music, actual sort of sound effects and Foley and that kind of thing. And her background, she's got a huge background. She's worked for DVD companies. She's done sound engineering. She's done a lot of actual film work as well. She's really experienced in the industry. We've also got Matt Smith, who is a expert in screenwriting. He's won awards for screenwriting. He's done stuff for the BBC and he's done small films independently. He's won awards, like I say. He's really on the ball when it comes to screenplay writing. So he does the screenplay module, which is great. And obviously, if students wanted to do a screenplay and then turn it into an actual film, then the option's there. So the 3 members of staff, we're all really experienced. We're all we're all qualified, obviously, and we know what we're doing, which is always a relief, I guess. Our resources, like I say, we've got a small studio with a green screen, so we can do chroma key, which is putting a background onto your film. We don't use that often, in fairness. Like I said before, actually encourage students to actually get out there and put a real background there. We live in a very fortunate area. And once we're allowed to get back out and about, you've got Liverpool city centre, you've got the beach, you've got the countryside nearby. Really, really encourage students to use that environment and get out there. We do have cameras, so we kind of encourage students to have their own cameras. I think it's really useful because then, there's no limit to how much time you've got with that equipment then. But we do have a set of 4K digital cameras, which are really, really good quality. They're still pretty new, and we're going to invest in some more too. We've got tripods, we've got sound equipment. So, you don't have to have that equipment coming into the course, but it helps, Just trying to think what other resources we've got. Like I say, we've got the sound equipment, we've got the lighting, everything you need really. The only thing that we ask is that you supply your own SD card because they tend to go missing. We're always buying more and more, so if you've got your own SD card, that's pretty much it. In terms of costs for things, you can apply. Obviously, you do have to pay course costs. Details of that are available on the website and in the spec. The only costs we say is things like the SD card and also trips, if we're going on trips and things like that, and if you want to buy your own equipment. So we do have, obviously you can apply for a maintenance grant or maintenance loan, at the start of the year, and hopefully you would spend that money on stuff that will help you get through the course. We also have a bursary for students whose attendance is really good. We're looking at 90%, but if your attendance is over 90%, you basically get £500, which you don't have to give back over the 2 years, which is great. And again, a lot of students tend to put that towards equipment, So that's our resources. That's what you're going to be spending out on. And trying to think, basically, we try and vary what we do. I mean, you don't want to be listening to me all the time and to the other guys. So we do get guest speakers in. This year we had 3 notable guest speakers. We had John Johnson, who's a local photographer who's done lots and lots of work in the film industry, doing on-set photography and that kind of stuff. He's a really successful commercial photographer. We also had a guy called Jim Mulhern, who's really brilliant. He works in sound. He's been doing this for a long, long time, providing sound for films and TV, and he's done some big stuff as well. When he came in last year, he was in the middle of working on a Netflix production. I can't say what it is, but he was working on something for Netflix, and one of our students ended up actually going and doing some work with him as his assistant for a few days, and had an absolutely brilliant experience. And she still goes on about how fantastic that experience was. We also had in recently a guy called Alex Riley, who some of you might know as a TV presenter. He's done stuff on the One Show. He does a car show on ITV4 as well. He's quite well known, and he writes his own scripts and presents the little short films on the One Show, that kind of thing. Well, he came in and gave a chat to the students, and we were just on the brink of getting him in to do like a long-term project with us, a week-long, everyday project where students would learn how to present, how to script write through him, and actually make their own short news piece. And we were really looking forward to that, but unfortunately the lockdown came in, and we're putting that on hold. And I've spoken to him literally last week, and he's still really excited about doing that. So hopefully we'll pick up the reins on that next year. In terms of visits, we do try and get out and about whenever we can. We went up to UCLan this year as well to actually look at the resources there, so we can do sort of small scale stuff. But on a bigger scale, every November we go to the Aesthetica Short Film Festival, which is up in York. It's brilliant. It's a really, really good opportunity to see short films from all over the world, from all kinds of different filmmakers. And we go for 3 days. It's a residential trip, so we stay up there, we get a hotel and we stay up there. And it's a really good opportunity as well, because all the years go, it's not just like the first, second or third years. Everyone goes and everyone gets to know each other, and it's a really good sort of social experience as well. So hopefully, not sure whether that will run this year because of obviously COVID-19. We can only hope, but if not, we'll go the next year. We were also supposed to go to New York. First time we've run this trip on this course. We're going to go to New York in March. But again, literally the week we were meant to go, we were told we couldn't, which is a real disappointment for us. But absolutely everybody really still wants to go. So again, trip to New York is on the cards, as it were. When we go there, we do things like go to the Museum of the Moving Image, we go on like a movie location walk. We try to keep it relevant to the course, but also, go and do the fun stuff too, Central Park and all that kind of stuff. So that's what we do. We're also organising a trip to the Harry Potter exhibition at the Warner Brothers Studios down south. And again, we would have been doing that around now, but we're all locked in, aren't we? Which is such a shame. It's so hard to kind of explain how difficult it is at the moment. We are still teaching. I've got a class at 2 o'clock today, and we're doing remote teaching, remote learning. It's deadline week, so it's kind of really busy. But we are still active. We're still working as a college. All staff are still working. So if you were wondering about how to apply for the course, it's all on. It's fine. You can get to us via the website, and you can hit the apply button there and give us your details, and we can interview you over the phone if that's okay. And also we do have the enrolment in August. We don't know how that's going to be at the moment, but whatever happens, we are working, we are enrolling, we are taking on students, so don't worry about that. I'm just thinking, is there anything that we've missed? I don't think there is really. All I can say is it's a successful course. If you're interested in film studies, if you're interested in TV, it's there for you. If you want a career in film and television, if you do the 3 years, you're coming out with a BA honours degree, which is exactly the same as you would get at any other university. Even though we're small scale, we're based in Bootle, we're very sort of local in that respect, although we do get students from further afield. Your degree at the end will be a UCLan accredited degree, which will be, your first step to a career in film and media. What jobs our students have done since leaving? Well, quite a few of our students have done things like writing, screenplay writing, that kind of thing. Getting jobs in local businesses as well was quite interesting. I mean, Liverpool is an incredible place at the moment for filmmaking. I don't know if you're aware of this, but Hollywood films quite often use it. So like Captain America was shot literally about a mile away from the college. Some scenes from that. Harry Potter, the big films are made in Liverpool, but also lots of small scale stuff, which a lot of the times more interesting. There are a lot of opportunities, an awful lot of opportunities for people in Liverpool. You don't have to travel far. And Pinewood Studios, which are the big studios in London, used to make the James Bond films and the Harry Potter films and all that kind of stuff, are opening big studios at the old Littlewoods building down at Edge Lane. Once that opens, there's going to be a lot of jobs there too. So opportunities, career opportunities in Liverpool, I would say, are better than they've ever been. And also we've got Media City up the road in Manchester as well. It used to be a case, I certainly did this, I went to live in London, to find work in film and television. Film and television has come to the northwest. Liverpool and Manchester are becoming the centre for careers in the media industry. So you're in exactly the right place, and with us, you're going to get that very sort of hands-on, very kind of face-to-face service from your tutors, and our pass rates are extremely high. You're going to come out of this with you put the work in, and it will be worthwhile, and we'll help you every step of the way. Okay, so that's pretty much me done. If you want to speak to me at all, you can email me through the Hugh Baird website at del.pike at del.pike at hughbaird, all one word, .ac.uk. Details of the course can be found in the prospectus, which is online via the Hugh Baird website, hughbaird.ac.uk, and the application forms are on there too. You can apply directly to us online as well. So with that in mind, has anybody got, I'm just looking, has anybody got any questions? There's lots of names, there's an awful lot of people popping up, but I've not seen any actual. I'm just going to scroll back, if you don't mind, just see if there's any questions at all. How's your lockdown going? Yeah, you can see how our lockdown's going. It's a struggle. It's a struggle. It's very hard. It's very, very hard actually to do what we're doing, but we're doing it, and we seem to be succeeding. So thank you for asking how the lockdown's going. Same as for everyone, isn't it? It's frustrating. Any other questions at all? Nope. Okay then. Like I say, if you have got any questions and you can't think at the moment, do please email me. We are open for applications for a September start. And like I say, just a quick reminder, you can come in either at year 0, which is, like I say, if you've got a level 2 and a little bit of experience or interest in film studies and video production. We've got the year 0, which is where you have a taster of a lot of the subjects in creative arts. Decide at the end which one you want to do. We've got the foundation, which I say is a 2-year course, which is modular based. There's no exams, I should mention as well. It's all coursework based. That's foundation. And then if you decide at the end of foundation that you want to carry on to make it into a full-blown BA honours degree, then you've got every opportunity to do that with our BA top-up course. And that's pretty much it. So it's been a pleasure chatting to you this afternoon. Hopefully, maybe chat to some of you at some point later on, and it'll be really good to see some of you in September. So thanks very much. Take care. Bye now.